begin. Everything kind of scrolled up there for a second. Okay, so I'm going to shut this window to get back to the program and move around here and die again. And it should change it either here unless the game's over. Okay, I have to start it again. So it should change it when I'm running, I guess. Maybe it's when I die. Maybe that's where that screen is changing it. Maybe that's when he dies. Let me see if I go and I kill him once here. If that does it. Maybe it's the pause screen. It didn't seem to change at that time. Okay, I can't get around these annoying people right now. Okay, I want to die. See if it changes again. Okay. We'll knock him off here. I'm just trying to see if this is gonna. How do I die here? I can't even seem to kill my character. There he goes. Alright, so for some reason it's not changing it now. You did see it change it earlier. So I'll go back and double check it again here. 5CD8. It went back to 0 for some reason. Maybe it never saved it. So let's go back and change it again. We'll just go back and alter it just like we did. Oh, you know what? I did disassemble earlier. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So I think I forgot to hit enter. I think that's what. Yeah, you got to hit enter like that, or it's not going to see it. So 5CD8. There it is. It's a D now. We can close this, and it should switch to green somewhere here. There it is. You see how it just changed it to green. So now we can see we're interacting with it live again. So that's how you know that it's actually working inside the code. And that's simply all that's going on here. Is this one you can't really go in and you can't add anything inside a Infiltrator. But you can, you know, kind of see it a little bit faster. What I really like about Infiltrator, if you haven't caught on to this, is you can instantly skip to any memory location or any register you want very quickly just by going up here. And what it does is it scans them. It scans the entire code here for the graphics, and it looks for all the big graphics here. And these are the ones for like the screen scrolling, the border color, and that. And you can see instantly as I'm scrolling up and down here, look how fast it's scrolling through the code. It's moving all the way there from up to 5000 or 5D, 5C0E all the way down there to 6EFC just by me scrolling through it. And if I go to interrupts, you'll see the same thing, and watch how fast it'll move through the code. It's lightning fast, and I love that Infiltrator because it's so quickly to find things. Now, I'll introduce you here to Regenerator in just a second. If you wanted to see like the SID, we could change the sound, although it's not in here. We could see the sound. You can see the SID register is right there. Here's the screen RAM. So this is kind of like the graphics on the screen. You see how quickly it's moving through all the memory locations there. So kind of a little tutorial. This is the screen memory, color memory. So we could instantly scroll through the color memory. If we wanted to, we could play with the color memory, change the colors in the program. Here's clear screen. I don't see anything under that one. And just some of these items are just going to be blank until you do something with them. Here's the CIA registers. And here's where it switches out. What is that? That's the joystick? Yeah, this is the joystick right here. So it's loading in some values into the joystick. I think DC00 is the joystick. Let me just double check my math here. DC00. Yeah, it's the joystick. Okay, somebody's giving me some cool tips here. Device said I should probably title my stream and see what you're streaming to create it. I thought it did title this one. Was there no title on it? I appreciate the tip there. Yeah, that would probably attract more people too. And I'm still kind of new to this too, so they're probably still just trying to figure out if I exist yet. But yeah, anything like that would really help me. Okay, I see my chats here now. I'm going to go ahead and take a look here. See if there's anything going wrong here at this moment. So everybody can see everything, right? Everything looks good? Don't see a title. Give me 1 second. just going to take a pause here for a second. I was talking with somebody there. One of the things I also want to do, guys, is I'd like to be able to try to get the chat up on the screen here. I don't want to, like, you know, drag the whole thing over like that or something. I want to be able to individualize the window, so chat window. I've seen people do that inside of their OBS Studio, but I'm still learning it, so I don't really know exactly how to do it yet. Although you've noticed I can sit there and instantly change the windows now. I set all those, reset them, so if we needed to go and see something up close, we can do that now. So I think the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to skip over to Regenerator. And we're going to load in the code directly into Regenerator here. And you can see why I wanted to show you this is to kind of show you the differences between this and between, between the dissembler here for Infiltrator. Let me get it back up here. I'm trying to put them both up on the same screen there. So let me go to the live desktop again here. It keeps moving down every time. So we're going to look up real quickly like 6D04. So you just go to this jump to, and I notice it's not on full screen again for some reason. I can't seem to squeeze it in here for some reason. It looks like it's off the screen there for some reason in my OBS Studio. Maybe I didn't have mine enlarged all the way. Okay, so hopefully you can see this side. And I got the wrong window up right here for Regenerator. It's hiding behind the background here. And the dissembler side by side here, like that. So I'm going to go here to this memory location where we were changing the border earlier. Which was, or the joystick, no, not the border, I'm going to show you the joystick here. Which is, wait, where did it go to? I just clicked off on it for a second here. Right here, DC00. So we want to go here. I want to show you this inside of Regenerator. And I'm just going to click over here where it says jump to. And it just went off the screen again. You're not going to see that again. I have to keep it like right there. I notice that my whole screen is cutting off here for some reason, although I've got a wider monitor. So maybe I need to change the settings, size on this or something. Anybody know how to change the OBS size settings? Because I think I have mine set to, I don't know, a smaller size like 1280 instead of like 1920 or something. My monitor, I got two different size monitors. I've got like a 1920 by whatever that is, and I got like a monitor much larger than that. So, but getting back here anyways, we're going to go into this hex address, 6D04, and you can see, the reason why I wanted to show you this is it does some commenting. I like the commenting, so you can kind of figure out what this register is all about. So it's saying the data port register A, which would be our joystick. So what they're doing is they're just storing the joystick in this 7573. So probably if we go through this code back here, I could probably find all the joystick locations now, and I know that they're in 7573. 7573. So there we are, right there, and one. So this would be joystick. Let me pull up the book since I don't have these memorized. The book, I'll switch back here to the camera view, show you what I'm looking at here in just a second. So the book right here I'm using, if you guys aren't familiar, it's a map in the Commodore 64, which contains all the memory registers for your Commodore 64. And what I'm doing here is I'm showing you on the screen here, what I showed you earlier, the AND value. You see these values right here? These are the joystick bits that are being set, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you have to look for the ones for the joystick. These are the keyboard here. Oh, sorry, double iron here. Joystick is 1 is down, and 2 is left fire. So we're looking for those registers here, and I'll switch back to the desktop here again. And actually, since it's small, I'll probably have to switch back to the dissembler again. It's kind of tiny there. I have to rename it. It's on the wrong one again. So, right here anyways. So the 7573, this appears to be the one, which is the keyboard. According to this, it shows it's, no, it's a joystick. Joystick down direction. So this is probably the down direction. Right here, this this register where it's branched to, and you see this BNELBRS. This is a label. that's being directly done inside of, I believe this was, yeah, this Infiltrator. And if we go over here, Infiltrator, we can see it right here, CD, is it CD13? CD18, let's see, where's CD18 here? CD18, so CD22 right there, CD18. And it shows you Infiltrator where they go to. You see these little lines here? I need to switch back to desktop again. I keep forgetting because if I go to one small screen, you're not going to see everything until I go back to the desktop. So what I'm doing is here, since I can't zoom in this, I have the larger screen, so I'm not sure how good of an idea that would be. But anyways, these are the labels right here. And it's going to this label. And you see these little lines here? So we know 7573, and I'm going to make a note here in my Word doc here so I can keep track of this. I'm just going to make a comment section here for this joystick. I don't know if that's joystick 01, but this is going to be for the, what is it, was the down direction? Joystick down. And what I'm doing is I go like this, and I've actually been setting headers like this, so now we've got the joystick down defined in at least one of the areas in the program. So if we need to go there again, we just click on it like that, and we get right back to it. And I'll just save it in here. So 7575 is the register for the joystick, and that's what I wanted to do up here in my little notes. I'm going to put that up here somewhere. So joystick, what is it, 7573, should be where they're storing the values for the joystick, is from what I've seen so far. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Now that means I could go anywhere inside of this program now and find all the joystick values. And if you see a 2 right here, this is actually right here. This is the entire joystick move routine for the Indiana Jones character. So the 2, we'll just we'll go back here in our little notes here in a minute, and we'll look it up here again in our Word doc here. The 2 is actually, according to the book here, it's the left direction. So we're going to look up this register real quick here. What should I look up? CD22. I can just type it in here too, and it'll find it. Same thing. Right there. So right here, we can go ahead and define this new location. Whoops. And this was the joystick. This it was down or left. Left, I think it was. Left direction. So this is the left now. And once again, we can create the heading for that, and now we define the left. So you see what I'm doing is I'm actually going through and assembling, finding some simple stuff. Now, I mentioned this before, but assembly is not for the faint of heart, or, you know, it basically takes a lot of work. And it's like building a house. You start with nothing, you have to put the walls up, and then you have to start, you know, laying down the bricks and stuff like that. Put, you know, I'm no carpenter or anything, but you have to put, you know, those kind of dividers for the in-between spaces for the different rooms and stuff like that, and so on. Plumbing, blah, 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 until you got a house with the roof and everything. The same thing is with machine language, is you're building upon blocks, little subroutines that build up into a much larger program. That's the whole idea behind it. If you could start small and you work your way up, then you pretty much got it. Look, somebody's already defined everything. Retrocoder, you're on it. That's cool. So I'm going to go ahead with Retrocoder and kind of catch up to him. Yeah, the right would be the 08. You're right. So let me just look at his little notes here. So the left would be the 04. So I probably put it in the wrong one here then. Just getting a little bit off on myself here. The 2, down is the 2, right? You said? So this is the down direction, he says. Okay, and then the right is the 8. Where did I see the 8? Right here. It's the down. That's the right location. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the header. And the 10, the fire button. Where did you see the 10 at? Oh, I need to do this one too. The 4 is the left. So did I get all of them? Let me see. I got down. I don't know why I got 2 downs here. Let me see. What was the 1? Is the 1 supposed to be the... I thought the 1 was the down direction. Up is 1. Okay, cool. Okay, so this would be the up direction then. Okay, so what I got repeats on this here. So the up is 1. This one, the 2. Trying to read this little chat here. He said the 2 was. You said 2 is down. Up is number 1. Well, it says here bit 1, joystick 2 down direction. It's kind of a little confusing in the book there. Let me see. Let's go back to this a second. So what I'm just doing is I'm assembling DC00. Are these values for DC00 or DC01? Retrocoder. Because I believe that's where I found it earlier. Let me just go back. I'm pretty sure I had to find it. 7573. See, right here, it's DC00. The DC00 is joystick 2. So this is joystick 2. Is what sounds like what he's saying there. Okay, so I appreciate that very much there. So we can get back to there for a second, sir. So let's see, like if we do the, for example, the right direction, I think you said that was the 8. Yeah, I know, it reads the keyboard and it reads the joystick both. Yep, I've seen that. And my book just fell out here. My fan just blew my book away, so I had to kind of open it back up here again. It's really hot here, so I'm trying to keep everything cooled down. Okay, so getting back to this again, what we could probably do now is we could probably figure out where the joystick is moving right by looking at this branch. This 6D43. It probably goes from 6D40 to 6D43. I think that's how you do that. So let's go back into code here and look up 6D40. I think I'm going to minimize that. I don't want it keeps getting in my way all the time. I'm going to minimize this right thing here. Get it out of the way. Okay, let me check my screen to make sure that they're full screen again. Because it cuts off, if I move over here, this is my full screen, but it cuts off over there, so I have to kind of like beat it halfway down like that again. And probably just move this all the way over here. Even this cuts off inside of Regenerator, because Regenerator only has so far you can go over here to there. What did you mean hot is bad, cooling is in order? I was responding to one of the comments made by Retrocoder. He said, hot is bad, cooling is in order. Are you talking about chips? I'm not sure what he was talking about there. But anyways, getting back here, we're going to look up 6D40 and see if we can look at what happens when Indy starts moving right here. See if we can start figuring this out a little bit, maybe. So 6D40 kind of represents the same line it's on, so it would be 6D43. So 6D43 starts right here. And we're using 1 and we're storing it in the 7574. Too hot is bad for thinking. I never heard that statement before. But anyways, the 7574 is storing a 1 in it. So I'm wondering if that's for the other joystick. You think? Let's find out. 7574. Let's see if I see any more of these masked values anywhere. It might be in the keyboard. And it was just saying compare 5 instead of, you know, using the AND register to pull up the joystick values. So it could be the keyboard. Maybe 7574 is keyboard. We don't know. We're still speculating. I'll write it back up here again. The rest of my notes. I'll put a question mark after it so we don't know yet. Could be the keyboard. Matter of speculation. I mean, a matter of really going through it and figuring it out. But that's why I went through the whole program and copied it into Word so we could see it a little bit easier. So let's see here. Whoops. He's using a compare 5 for a lot on this. Wipes it out to 0 there. He stores it to 0 here. Here he's storing an 80 or an X80 into it. So that's pretty much all he has on there. I think it's a keyboard. He's incrementing 7574. What do you think 7574? What's your guess on that, Retro Coder? I was asking him that question. It's comparing 5. I'm just curious if he uses 7x76. He actually does. Okay, let me go back to what he said here. He said it incremented. Oh, I see what you're saying. So it incremented right there, 7575. Oh, wait. We're talking about... Oh, 7x75. I put down the wrong one. I put down 77574. 7575. Okay, two. 7x75. My bad. So 7575 is incremented, and then it's compared with the 4. The mystery of assembly language or machine language when you really get into it, because if you're taking apart somebody's code, you're really trying to think like they do. But you have to kind of break it down. And that's why I started with that one register and just kind of worked off from the DC00. And I figured out, you know, that the D, by watching where the joystick routines were being found at, the 7573 was branched off to the 64.3, and then that's when we saw that the 7x74 was being stored after that. So it looks like it is doing something to do with the joystick there. So he's only returning off here. So let me see if I can find another. It'd be nice if we could search in this. I guess I just have to stick with this. So we know 7573 is the joystick. So in this one, he's going to 33. Go back up here a second. 63.3. Oh, I'm sorry, 63.8. 63.8. Where you at? 63. No, 63B. There we are. It's right there. 63B. So it's basically picks up the next joystick, loads in that value to compare the next joystick. That makes sense. It's just kind of reading one out. If it's not moving left, is he moving right? Is he moving up and down? So forth. But what I'm trying to figure out is once he's writing all the joystick values, where does it go from there? That's what we need to figure out. What's the next thing as soon as he moves the joystick? What is the programmer doing next? He's moving the character somewhere. So 60.0C. I'm just going to look at this for a minute. .0C. Or 6. I keep reading this one. I gotta read this one. 60.13. Excuse me. So he's just reading in the next value. 60.22. Way down here somewhere. He's reading the down value. And then he goes to 62E. 62E right here. He reads in the next value. And then he goes to 6D3B, which is where we were. And then that's when he reads the next value, and then he goes to 64.3. And then it's where he stores it, a 1 into this, and he returns off. So to probably figure out the joystick, we probably need to figure out where it came before it got to this routine, I imagine. So let's see where it starts at. Yep, that's right, Retrocoder. I did notice it's doing each value one by one. That's pretty common in a lot of the games that are out there. But I'm trying to figure out, like, there's probably a JSR probably to this somewhere. Unless, we still got these up here too, so maybe it's JSR up here somewhere. He's doing a lot of stores up here. And there's RTS here, so it's probably right here. There's probably a JSR for this one, maybe. Let me look it up. Just trying to think that way. Oh, it's a jump. There's a branch right there for it. I wonder if I found the main routine. So Retrocoder says, for some reason, whoever coded that joy read thing wanted to isolate directions to own memory locations. Isn't that kind of like what they actually do in the actual games, from what I've seen? I've seen this done in a lot of programs. When I used to program on the Atari, I've seen a lot of people do it that way. Because isn't it faster if you read it from a memory location rather than accessing the DC00 or the CIA? But anyways, don't let me lose my track of thought here, because I think I might have found maybe the main loop here. I'm just guessing. C667, it's a jump. There's a branch there. And there's a lot of activity going on inside of this jump routine here. So I'm going to make a note of this one and copy it. And then we'll try to figure out, see if we can figure out what that one's doing. Oh, I lost my little notes here again. Where'd they go? Right here, I stuck them in the middle. Okay, so we'll just put that one down and put the question mark and just say main loop. We don't know yet. But we can evaluate it and see. I didn't know that. So each memory location reads and writes the same speed. If that's true, then why don't they reuse the same CIA register over and over again? If they're all the same cycles or whatever. I'm just responding to his question. He said, for mostly in C64, you read and write any memory locations the same to the same speed. Because I was thinking if you used the joystick register, which is DC00, and you were trying to store it in a memory location, which would be 7573, as we found here, I thought one might be faster than the other, but he says they're not. Because it changes moment one, let joystick go. So basically, it's a way of like kind of passing in the values and storing it, since you can't really save it inside of the actual register. Yeah, that makes sense. I get it. I've seen that happen too before. If you try to just read the joystick directly, you end up losing it if you don't store it somewhere.